Okay, I think we're ready to go.
Okay, so I'll start the recording and then it's all yours.
Mi nombre es Alejandro Archundia. Yo imparto la materia de creación literaria en el Colegio Internacional de México. Buscando una forma divertida, creativa, con la que los niños pudieran involucrarse más con su proceso de aprendizaje, fue que descubrimos por ahí o lo pusimos en práctica y funcionó el hecho de agregar un elemento, un sombrero, un bigote, una nariz de payaso, un maquillaje. Primero, para que los niños puedan expresarse mejor y se sientan con más libertad, sientan que es un juego. Y segundo, porque un elemento de este tipo te ayuda a ser más expresivo.
No te da miedo de hacer tantos errores con una nariz de payaso que sin ella, porque sabes que los payasos hacen errores.
Lo que hacemos primero es plantear lo que los niños necesitan aprender. Después de eso se elabora la pregunta guía, que es la base. Actuar en video este cuento, pero el cómo lo resuelven, eso depende de ellos, y ahí es donde entra el aprendizaje significativo y donde entra la tecnología. Por ejemplo, en esta actividad, que duró 50 minutos, utilizaron 5 herramientas tecnológicas.
Con Archundia la actividad utilizamos todos nuestros sentidos y la vivimos. En cambio, con un maestro solo usamos los sentidos del oído y la vista, igual que con un libro.
Si lees o escribes un libro, te acuerdas el 30% después de 3 días. Si pones en práctica lo que leíste, te acuerdas del 80%.
Los niños ponen a prueba su creatividad, los niños aprenden a resolver conflictos, los niños aprenden conocimientos y además de todo se divierten.
Cuando voy a lugares distintos y no conozco a personas, lo que hago es intentar hablar con ellos y la seguridad me la dan. Lo que he visto con Archu, el maquillaje, las narices, sé que lo puedo hacer también sin usarlos.
Utilizar las aplicaciones y el software que incluye una Mac les ayuda a los alumnos a estimular la creatividad. Y la creatividad, creo yo, como docente y como Apple Distinguished Educator, creo que es la base de la vida. Y si hay algo para lo que debemos preparar a nuestros niños, es justamente para eso, para resolver conflictos de manera creativa.
Todo no es estricto y de una sola manera, sino que hay varias formas y hay que ser creativo para encontrarlas.
Hello, welcome to the Mexico segment of 24 Hours of Change for Education. Thank you, Gabriel, for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, all the guests that are here. We have a very packed session. We are focusing in one school. Then we are having a Q&A session, and then we are talking about a little bit about professional learning. That is something that we believe it's the most important thing to generate change inside the classrooms. With this session, we want to start with this quote: "Those who teach will never cease to learn." This is the most insightful learning that we have from since 2012. That this video is. It was a long time ago, but 10 years ago, we were already trying to do things differently. The agenda for today, that as I said before, it's a question and answer regarding the change in education. Then we are talking a little bit about professional learning models. And then we have the overview of the Colegio Alexander Bain Irapuato. Our guest today is Viviana Martinez. Viviana Martinez is a professional learning specialist. She's a teacher, and also she has a lot of experience in accessibility features in technology. Yasmin Lopez is preschool principal of Colegio Alexander Bain Irapuato, and he's one of the most awesome preschool principals that I know. That she has all their teachers and all the students doing amazing stuff with and without technology in their school. We have then Arturo Dares, who is one of, I think that it's a visionary. I have met him like 10, 12 years ago, and we share the love of the passion for teaching and technology. He is an IT and NetTech director from Colegio San Roberto in Monterrey. And then, but not last, we have Emmanuel Valdez. He's a professional learning specialist. He's a psychologist, and also he leads the emotional learning department from a company who do professional development. So thank you everyone for being here. We're starting with this Q&A session. So the first one who wants to answer, please just raise the hand and start answering. We are talking about the change of education. So I want to know, and we want, I would love to all people that are listening to know, how is your school or you in your department changing education? Okay, Arturo.
First of all, Archie, it was amazing to see your video, and you can see it was a long time ago. So it was great, and you can see how you love education and how passionate you were for it. So congratulations on that video. It brought back a lot of memories. So nice. Okay, so well, thank you very much. My name is Arturo Dares. I'm the IT and Tech Director at San Roberto International School in Monterrey. And how is San Roberto changing education? So we are constantly in professional development. Actually, we have like 4 complete sessions per year of professional development where kids do not come to school, and then we get these sessions given by either specialists or even by our own teachers about trends, about new things in education that we can apply. So one of the things that we are very passionate about, and especially in my area, is about EdTech and how IT is helping EdTech to be better. So it is normally what schools do, or what school thinks, is that IT, which is the hardware part of the schools, it's not tied to EdTech. But actually what they need to do is really talk together and see how IT is going to support EdTech, right? So one of the things that we do, or my area does, is investigate what devices are out there, how can they improve the academic side of the school, what training are we going to do, and how that supports EdTech, so teachers can have better tools to plan better. We use the SAMR model, so we want teachers to understand and know that they have the ability and the resources they need in order to carry out a good planning and change the way they give education. We need the teachers to understand that they need to be in the world of our kids right now. Information is very fast. Social media, it's constant, and kids need feedback very, very fast. So having teachers giving their same classes through the year, it's really not what we want. We want teachers to actually innovate, have virtual reality, have virtual experience about what it's out there. And one of our passions is that to help them understand and bring them new devices that can bring their, let's say, their game up and make the kids really involved in their education part and understand what they are supposed to be learning, right? Thank you.
And anyone else who wants to answer this question? Okay. Okay, Arturo, I had one question for you. Recently in Mexico, we have been like this kind of issue where schools think that their teachers and students are tired about technology. So what do you think is the most important thing to know given, what do you think about it? Do you think that technology is tired, or you can be doing more about the education regarding the technology? What do you think?
Well, I think I can understand that phrase because, and you said it, no? I think it was 10 years ago when we started this movement of one-to-one and teachers really using technology, and they create these amazing lessons with movies, with slides, with movement in their presentations, and I think we got stuck there. So teachers are being using those type of planning and media, and kids, honestly, they need more right now. They have a lot of information out there, and us as teachers, we think like, wow, this is the best planning I've done and the best media I've created, so I'm going to use it. And they have not gone over and move away from their comfort zone. So yes, I think that we need to push teachers a little bit more in creating content more related to our kids right now, because they're not the same kids as 10 years ago. So we do need to be more in their game. And as we did 10 years ago, we need to change it and do it again in 2022, 2023, and help those planning and those lessons be more attractive to kids. So it's not that they're tired of technology, but I think that they need more stuff related to what they see right now. I mean, it's not about technology, it's about how teachers do they give their classes, what planning they use, and what type of devices and software they plan in order for them to deliver their class. I think that's what we need to do. A little bit more PD, professional development, and how they plan and create their classes, because right now we have more technology and very different than 10 years ago.
Thank you. Viviana?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Well, I think that it's not only for the school, we have to change the education. We have to go forward and go for the parents too. No, Arturo said that the social media is very important right now, and that our kids are they're everywhere, every time in TikTok and Facebook. And no, what happened with the parents? We should educate them and give them skills for guiding their kids, no, in this new type or this new era of education. That's my opinion. No, I think that we should improve our development for professional development for parents with skills that improve them to know how to use social media and give their kids some, I don't know, some, how do you say, how skills guiding this. Yes, that.
Thank you. Emmanuel?
Yeah, I think that if we want to change education, we need to see this as a problem to solve from a systematic point of view. And you know how a system is, it has different parts making up the whole system. And sometimes we just take into account like pedagogical approach or like federal or local laws or whatever, or we have a great idea, right? But rarely do we see how that can affect the system, how that will affect the system. So I believe we listen more to students, teachers, parents, as Vivi was saying, we can better understand this problem. We can better understand how we can solve this problem, because we can have a great idea, and we want to push it, and there's a lot of resistance. Yeah, because we are not listening to all the parts. And if we really want to make change, we can, yes, affect one part of the system, because the theory says in the systems theory says that if you can affect one part, the whole system will be affected. Yes, but if we want to do that, we have to be very conscious that that impact is a huge impact. That is a great idea that we need to push very, very hard and not give up. So yeah, and in essence, listening to different parts of the system and trying to affect each and every one of them, or make a big push into one of them so we can affect the whole system. And in that way, change education. Let me give you a very quick example. If we think that flipped classroom is the answer, and just go to a school and say, yeah, you know, guys, flipped classroom is going to be huge. You do this, it's going to be solving all our problems. And probably that implementation won't work. And it won't work because we haven't listened to the parts of the system, right? We're just trying to push a solution, and that solution might or might not work because if we are not very well focused on the systematic approach of the problem. Yeah, that's my opinion. So what are we changing, or what are we trying to change? Is exactly that. Trying to, when we work with schools, trying to listen to all the parts of the problem. All the parts are actively trying to solve the problem, invested in the solution, and we try to make something new and different for each and every one of those cases, of those schools. So that's it. That's my answer.
Thank you. Let's go to the next question. The next question is, what do you think that is needed to change the mindset of schools to embrace innovation? I mean, you know, we have a lot of schools that are doing amazing stuff, like San Roberto, like Alexander Bain, Irapuato, but we have these other schools who thinks that innovation is not a thing. I mean, like the old model, the old way to do education is the way to go. And most of them are thinking, because there are some parents who also thinks that the old model of education is the way to go. So what do you think that is need to change, and how can we, Bibi, for example, Bibi talk about parents. Parents are one of the most important part to change to happen in schools. So what do you think is need to change? What is going to be different? Bibi?
Thank you. I think all schools changed the way they teach after these 2 years of COVID. No, this COVID changed us as the way as we teach, as we learn, as we do things. No, so I think that schools just returned as they used to be, the students and the way they teach and learn. But they know how to be and how to do and how to improve innovation in schools. Before COVID, we don't know how to do it. We go to schools and maybe they buy some technology, but they don't know how to integrate them to the classes and everything. But just before COVID, I think that every school in Mexico or in the world know how to improve and embrace innovation, or they don't want to do it. They are just like that in a comfort zone, that it's okay. We knew how to improve, and now we just want to be as old school, no? As you said, Archu, no, at the beginning. I think that's happening. I really think that the schools know how to do it, but they don't want to do it.
Thank you. Arturo?
Well, I think, like Viviana said, certainly COVID put us in a position where we had this baseline of use of technology, right? And I think that was great. But as we tend to do as humans, we tend to go back to our normal comfort zone. So if we don't keep moving that forward, if we don't keep making our teachers pushing to try new things, tell them that it doesn't matter if they make a mistake, if something doesn't work, you can go back and change it. I think that movement, that step that we went up, it's gonna go down, because we tend as humans to go back to what we know, and we don't want to make a mistake, and we don't want to see that our student, that we don't know as more than our students, and that's some of the things that we need to move apart and to tell them that well, you are like a guide in the classroom, and it's okay to let the kids take the stage for a certain time of the moment and make them part of their education. I think that we need to tell the teachers that innovation, it's part of our way of thinking, a way of learning. And if you kind of do something that you think is not working okay, you can move and change it and try new things. And that's what I think it would work for the schools, to help teachers move away of the comfort zone and tell them that it's okay to try new things.
Thank you. Jasmine?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I think the most important thing we need to change mindset, especially with teachers, is workshops, to have more workshops, trainings, teacher lessons, to open their minds and to let them know that there are so many different ways to teach, and show them a new way to teach, you know, as Emmanuel, I think, he said, that we always do the same, or we try the same things every year or each year, with trainings and with more workshops and with activities, you know, where they can share their strategies with all or with another schools. They can see different ways they can use in their classes. I think that's the most important thing to change mindset in schools, the teachers. Thank you.
Thanks to you, yes. Emmanuel?
Yeah, I believe as humans, we love procrastination, right? We always tend to leave things to the last, and only until we see that it's urgent, we do change. And that happens a lot. And as Viviana was saying, COVID was a great opportunity to grow exactly because of that, because it came with a crisis. We have to change. We gotta change, otherwise we die, right? I mean, not literally. I mean, as in school, we cease to exist. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. Or I believe most schools wouldn't take the step to change. So I totally agree with Viviana. Crisis does bring change, and with Arturo, because we need to challenge our staff in schools. I think what I want to say, or to complement with all these ideas, is we can recreate that crisis in school in a good way. Part of the change management theory in every kind of institution, not just with educational institutions, all sorts of institutions need to be able to manage their change. If we're talking about technology or innovation, that is very, very important. We can create a sort of crisis to start the change, and we need to be able to understand that all that change will come with a crisis, and it's part of the process, and kind of love crisis in a sort of way, and manage it, and trying to communicate constantly to our teachers, parents, students, the whole community, that things are going to change. That we're not going to be comfortable with a change that is not pretty all the time, but good things will come. And that is something that Jasmine was saying, and it's great. If you constantly touch base with teachers to say, hey guys, did you know that you can do this? Pretty great, right? Awesome, it's amazing. And there's a new way, there's a prettier way, there's a more fast and, I don't know, impactful way of doing what you're already doing. Let's try it, right? Let's try this month, didn't work, that's okay. Let's try next month. It kind of worked, okay, what can we change? Perfect, let's try next month. The third round is the good one, so you got it perfectly. Now, next challenge. And that is something that we need to be pushing constantly in school so we can get innovation. And last but not least, innovation for innovation's sake sometimes is not the best idea. We need to be very conscious of why we want to innovate. and keep that goal always in mind so we can race towards it. Otherwise, just changing things for changing things won't really bring a lot of good change.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Right now, we want to encourage the people the audience who are listening to us or watching us. If you want to comment, to make questions to our experts, and also Gabriel, if you want to participate in the debate, it will be great. Knowing that you have a lot of global experience right now. You have been listening a lot of opinions about all these themes, so you are welcome to participate if you want, okay? Because I know that these themes are you love them, so if you want it, you can also participate, okay? Okay, next, last question for this session, for this part, but before I want to make one question, so let's see what it brings, this question. My question about for all of you is, who do you think is the most important player in changing education? Do you think are the students? Do you think are the teachers? Do you think are the leaders? Do you think are the parents? It's a really interesting question to see. What do you think regarding all your perspective? Who do you think is the most important? Arturo?
Complicated question, because I mean, everybody has something to do with the change in education, but I think that the main or the most important person or stakeholder that makes the change are the students. I mean, they are the ones that are thriving and the ones that are asking for different ways of receiving the information or about taking the classes, or about the trends that are happening right now in the world, social media, Twitter, everything that's happening. The ones that are creating the information, the ones that are creating the content are students and are the kids. So if we kind of understand what it's happening with them, what it's interesting for them, then teachers start bringing more content, different content about the academic curriculum, and then with that, a little bit the chain goes up, and then administration gets involved also, and then parents get involved also. So I think that the main person that starts with the change are the ones that are the main part of education, which is the students.
Thank you. Anyone else? Bibi?
Jasmine first and then me.
As Arturo said, it's a difficult question, you know. I think students already have the interest. They are already involved in all technologies, topics, you know, it's part of their lives. Teachers are getting into that point, but if leaders do not support them, do not listen what the students need, what the teachers need, if they don't give the materials, they don't pay the iPads or the license or the things they need, that's not going to happen, you know. I think those three parts are important to make the innovation: the interest of the students, what the teachers know or what can they do, and what the leaders can give them. If one of them are not inside in the same level or interest, it's not going to happen. I think that all of them have to be in the same position, you know, of let's do more, let's see what can we get, let's make a bigger effort. I think, but the leaders, if the leaders do not support or do not help, probably it's not going to happen.
Thank you. Emmanuel?
Yeah, I totally agree with all of you guys. There is no I in team, right? So yeah, we need to understand that change is going to be made by all of us. And also, just one last idea that I'd like to share about this, because pretty much you have said everything, is keep in mind that any implementation or any project needs to be in steps or in phases. There's a planning and organization and control and execution. And so keep in mind that we have to go back and forth, right? Between all the organizations or the community, school community, participating and being in constant touch and communication. And I believe these kind of events are great for that, right? Because it gives us the opportunity for everyone to speak up, and share ideas and share what we're seeing, what is working, what is not working. So these kind of spaces is part of that team that is going to bring change and brings together into the projects that we have in school.
Thank you. So let's go to the last question from this part. Can you please, one of you, share a story about change of education in your life or in your school? Some moment or story when you can say, oh yeah, I'm really, this is something to change. This is something I want to share with everybody, so they know that this is one way to do it. Arturo.
Yeah, sorry for always being the first one, but I just have it right here. It's the it was a physics class. I was in college, and I remember that it was by teams. So in my team, everybody had to create this boat out of milk cartons. And I mean, I don't know if everybody did this in their college or not, but what I really liked about it and what it really changed is that by doing the things, it really stuck with me how we had to do the research, not just take notes from the teacher, but actually go and look for the formula, leave the formula, see how much everyone weighted, how many milk cartons we needed to collect, going to the milk factory and get as many cartons as we needed, and then actually design the boat so we could all fit. And then at the end, the final stage was everybody had to compete in a pool and actually navigate your boat and get to the other side. So what really changed and what really got into made me think about how we learn is how this teacher made us live the part of education. So leave the project, actually do it and finish it, and got a reflection out of it. So it was really nice how we all got together, how everybody had one task and do collaboration, work with it, and then actually carry out the project. So I really like that part of my college years. Thank you.
Someone else? Okay, Emmanuel.
Yes. Maybe I'm getting out of subject here, but there's something very I was thinking about what to share because we have seen a lot of examples, but I'm going to share my own if you allow me. As a kid having ADHD, I suffered a lot in school because it was hard for me to retain information and to actually make use of it. Right? It was very, very hard. And the one thing that changed the whole story was one teacher. So I do believe one teacher can make the change. And that is something that I'd like to share with you guys. One teacher that shows interest, one teacher that listens to the students, one teacher that does crazy stuff or has great ideas, as the video that we saw in the beginning with them, with the clowns and the makeup and everything. That one teacher can make a huge difference, right? So if we add that amazing teacher to the equation of using technology and innovation, we have a bomb, right? So yeah, that's the only thing I wanted to share, my own story. And obviously we have seen a lot of examples of what innovation can bring to the classroom.
Okay, thank you. Bibi or Jazz? Yeah, Jazz?
Okay, thank you. Probably the thing that changed my story in education was the pandemic. We have been working with technology that year. It was 2019 when we start keeping in touch with Artur, with DEXA, and on that year we started working in our school with technology, with Apple, and since August, I guess, right, Artur? On March, the pandemic arrived to our lives, and we were really happy that we were prepared to keep in touch with our students and keep going with education, even when they cannot come to school. You know, it was a very specific moment that makes me so happy to know that we were prepared to continue and to give the best things for our students. I know that's something that makes me so proud. Yes, and changed my story in education.
Thank you, Bibi.
I think in my story, the thing that changed me and the way I teach and everything and related to education was working with a bunch of teachers that want to change the education and the way our learners learn. Yeah? That's the thing that changed me a lot. Yeah? The way we prepare the projects and we want to work together, and there was just this, I don't know, this imaginable way to teach, and that our kids want to learn with us. That's everything.
Yeah, I was going to say also that I want to share this little story. Once upon time ago, when the video that we started with, that they put at the first at the beginning of this session was filmed, we were living like a golden era of teaching, because we were working in a school where every teacher has an identity. No one, we were like 20 teachers, and no one teaches the same way. All of 20 of us had one specific thing that makes them tick. So the kids, so our students connect with one of them, or with two of them, or three of them, but all our students were happy because there was at least one teacher who was to be identified. I mean, and that was, I don't know why the school did that. I don't know how that happened. I think that it was kind of causality. I don't know, but it was a great time and a great example of change, because all the things that we were doing in school, we were doing together, and all the teachers were participating in his or her own teaching model. So it was great. It was a great time, and that was an example of change of education. Okay, thank you for this part. Now we are going to the next section. We remember there are 3 sections in this segment. The second one is regarding professional development. I mean, we have discovered that the teacher training has a real great impact, like Jasmine said a brief time ago, that technology, not just technology training, I mean pedagogy training and the thing that makes teachers connect with students is not just the old pedagogical models or practices, but we have discovered that a teacher who keeps learning is a teacher who always has something new to offer to the students, just like Roberto said. So we want to share to share to you these little I don't know if they're tips or something that you want to create a professional development model inside your school, or you have you have school and want to try something to do the best professional development model. You have to do these four things. The first one is identifying needs. I mean, you have, as students, you have all kind of students, you have all kind of teachers. You have all kind of teachers on different levels of technology, different levels of pedagogy, different levels of content creation. So the first thing that you have to do is identify needs. You can do a survey, you can do something. Then you have to create a professional development personalized plan. I mean, based on your needs, not just the school needs. I mean, based on the needs of the teachers. Then you need to do coaching and class observation. Most of the schools do class observation, but not all of the schools do coaching for the teachers. And one of the most important things that we have learned that most of schools have missed, at least here in Mexico, is they don't have measure mechanisms to measure the success of their projects. I mean, how can they know if an initiative is working if they don't have a measure to do it? It's just not the grades. It's just not the happiness of the students. There are a lot of other methodologies to measure success. So when you want to do great professional development in your schools, you need to do that. And then there are a lot of things you can do to try different training models. We have Edu protocols, for example. This is one of a new methodology that we are embracing here in Mexico that you can find free in the web. There are new methodology in which you can implement technology easier. So your students and your teachers work less and teach better. And then your students are more engaged when you are trying to use technology in your classroom. So we really encourage you to use Edu protocols. They are for free. You can find it in the web. And this is something that we are doing here in Mexico to change education. And now, just to close this part of the segment, I want to invite Emmanuel to show you a little secret from us on some kind of model from professional learning that we know that it works. So you can have it in your own schools or in your countries. Emmanuel, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay, let me show you my screen. Can you see it all? Yeah, you'll see it? Great. So yeah, real quick, because it's on screen, I like to say that sensei is because we're not the senseis. Teachers are the senseis. We are very focused on giving them that honorific and that place of respect and importance that they deserve. The next thing that I want to show you, you can see right there, there is in the middle, you can read implementation strategies. So we have developed this modular system in which we offer these to schools. They can take 1, 2, 3, all of them. They can do it in different order. They can choose. And the idea behind all this modular system or model is they'll get in one session or on a couple of sessions or at the end of each one of the models, better said, at the end of each one of the models, they can implement this right away in their classrooms without having to do a lot of planning or do a lot of efforts in the IT department or making a huge plan to do it. So each one of those little balls that you can see around the implementation strategies one is basically one idea that they can take, they can learn about, and more or less like 48 hours or so. Oh, sorry. Let me go back here. And let me tell you a little bit about, like, I don't know, like a couple of them, if you don't mind. For example, K-12 Apps Roulette. That's an amazing one. So you see there are a lot of options out there in app stores and play stores and whatever. The idea behind this one particular model is they can choose, and we go to a workshop, we learn how to use them, and we plan how to do it in the classroom. That's it. That's pretty much it. We also have another one. For example, this one says project-based learning and design thinking. A big one. That is, I'm going to show you a model real quick. I don't know, like in 10 minutes. We go to exercises. At the end of the workshop, you're set to go. Go, try it out. Very similar to what Arturo was saying about EduParticles. There's this methodology. Go ahead, it's free, use it. Let's see how it goes. Flipped Classroom is another example that we have already discussed a little bit. And that's a great idea. It does work. But in order for it to work, what do we need? Yes, we need a tool. We need a task. We need to do this. We need to try it. 48 hours. We work on it. Go try it. So that's how we usually work, right? We try to make it so that teachers make sense of every one of the sessions, and they can put to work whatever they see in the session almost right away. After the session ends, maybe next day, they can go ahead and try it. That is so we can attack many of the needs that teachers have, right? So don't come and tell me I need to learn a whole pedagogical system, methodology, I don't know, like 48 hours just to learn the theory, and then you're gonna teach me how to plan, you're gonna teach me how to do it, and maybe in a couple of months or 3 months, we get to work. No. This model system that we propose to schools is exactly the opposite of all that. Let's do a workshop. This is the topic. These are some tips. Let's go ahead and do it together. Then let's go ahead and do it in your own classroom. So that's pretty much what we wanted to show you. And that's the way we are trying to make some change in education.
Thank you, Manuel. So at the end, but not the last, we want to show you something, the video of showcase of the Alexander Bain School that Jasmine just had to go. I'm sorry, she need to go, but we are going to share you the video. I want to make something that we are really trying to do here in Mexico to change education is to change the mindset of how technology is used. I know that technology had a lot of bad things, but also had a lot of good things. And it's not about the technology or the devices, it's how teachers implement them about their learning experience. So we want to finish the segment with this little video, who is from the school of Jasmine. And we are going to questions.
El uso de las iPads ha cambiado radicalmente la forma en la que enseño a los niños, ya que ahora a través de ellas se emplean diferentes aplicaciones que ayudan a potenciar el aprendizaje de los niños, que vayan a su propio ritmo y estilo.
Los chiquitos usando el iPad, he visto que se han vuelto mucho más informados con todas las aplicaciones que ahora tienen, les ha ayudado mucho a indagar.
Les ha ayudado mucho a ser independientes, les ha ayudado muchísimo a poder prepararse de una manera mejor.
En Kino tuvimos que hacer un proyecto de Bueno, al principio usar las iPads fue un poco complicado porque obviamente te entra ese miedo a lo desconocido, a lo nuevo. El usar la tecnología nos brinda totalmente una herramienta para que los niños estén descubriendo justamente una visión diferente al momento de que hagan cualquier evidencia, cualquier práctica.
En el caso de mis hijos les ha ayudado a ser más disciplinados, más responsables. Todos los programas que están aprendiendo a utilizar, o más bien ya los dominan. Algo que a mí me tiene con el ojo cuadrado es la manera en que los niños editan sus videos. Todos los programas que la Alexander Bain les ha enseñado a utilizar le han sacado muchísimo provecho.
A mí me ha gustado mucho trabajar con el iPad porque siento que la tecnología hace ver muy padre todos los trabajos. Para nuestros proyectos hemos utilizado las aplicaciones de Keynote, Pages, Notas y Clips y hemos hecho unos videos súper padres.
Nos da muchas facilidades y cuando empezamos a trabajar con ella notamos una diferencia enorme, sobre todo en los alumnos con necesidades educativas especiales. Vimos que los alumnos empezaron a ser creadores de contenido y mostrar que realmente el conocimiento que estaban teniendo nuestros alumnos era significativo.
He notado cambios muy significativos en el rendimiento académico de mis hijos. Se ven reflejados en sus calificaciones, en su forma de trabajar. Ellos son más seguros, ellos pueden desarrollar cualquier actividad de manera más simple, más sencilla. El sistema de las iPads ha venido a revolucionar la enseñanza.
Desde que hay tanta tecnología en el Alexander, yo más que nada me siento ansioso y emocionado porque siento que es todo un mundo de oportunidades que no podríamos tener sin las iPads y siempre me ha gustado mucho.
También ha facilitado esta transición de los libros físicos a los libros digitales o virtuales. Uno de los proyectos que más me gustó trabajar con mis alumnos fue en Pages. Ellos crearon un libro de manera individual.
He notado en mis hijos una mejora en las herramientas que le dio el iPad porque sus trabajos fueron de muchísima más calidad, más sustentados. También vi que la escuela estaba preparada ahorita con la pandemia para el cambio. Luego los niños siguieron con sus clases.
Yo entré a prepa fue cuando se implementaron las iPads y nos dieron a cada uno nos dieron una individualmente. Desde ese entonces nunca la he dejado de usar, no hay un día que diga no voy a usar mi iPad, todos los días la uso para la escuela y demás. Para la tarea también, ¿verdad? Y ya con esto pues cada quien tiene como su propia forma de trabajo y la verdad sí fue mejor.
You're muted.
Sorry. Thank you, everyone. That's how technology can help you to change education. I hope that this segment was meant to be helpful regarding professional development and trying to change a little bit the perception that we had about technology in education. Thank you, Arturo. Thank you, Vivi. Thank you, Emmanuel, and thanks to Jasmine that as a teacher and principal had to leave to give a class. So thank you, everyone. Gabriel, I don't know if you want to say something else?
I wanted to thank everybody, especially Archu and the rest of the team for inspiring us with this very enlightening segment. We're really grateful. You're doing wonderful stuff. What we're going to do is finish the recording now, then we're going to clean it up, load it on the page, and Archu, I'm going to ask you to send me all the links to the various projects that you've mentioned so that we can reference it on the site. So thank you very much. We have friends from Canada and the US now that are taking over, but we're going to stop the recording and the streaming now for a second, and then we'll resume. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.